Hello and welcome to my channel to plan for. My name is Marguerite, and on this channel I talk about analog planning, journaling, and all the tools that make writing more enjoyable, especially fountain pens and inks. This video is part of my ink exploration series, and in this series I take a look at different properties of fountain pen inks with a special focus on writing samples in fountain pens, because that is what I use my inks mainly for. So first we will swatch an ink, get to know its properties, and then take a look at writing samples from 3 different pens on 3 different paper types, and I'll also have some bonus notebooks to show you writing samples in. Okay, so today we will take a look at this dominant industry ink. It's called Cherishment. And I don't even know if it's correct to say it's by dominant industry or if I should put it to their new fountain pen brand, which is called Stationery. But for me, it's a dominant industry ink. I got this ink when I was on my big vacation this year in April in Korea. And well, that's not too long ago. And this was right at the time when this ink was released. And so I bought it there in a little stationery store on the island Jeju. It was a yes, a stationery store, but also a like traveler's company partner store. That's how I even found that store. It was really, they had a lot of nice things there, and also dominant industry inks. And I was very lucky to get this ink there. So the name kind of is program for this ink for me. I mean, because this vacation will be a memory I will always cherish. Not only because I experienced many interesting new things to me, but also because I was not traveling by myself, but with a traveling partner. And it's just like all those things we experience, those things will stay with me forever. And yeah, so I know that's kind of ridiculous to put this on this name of the ink. But yeah, for me, it's very real. Okay, let's just put the name of the ink here before I go too much on with my story. So we are talking about the ink from, as I said, I would put it to the brand dominant industry. And it's called Cherish. And I put quite a bit of ink here. But I think this ink swatch book can handle it. By the way, I mean, I can't close the lid of the notebook right now, but it's a ink swatch book by, I think, Waringle. And yeah, we'll take a look at the ink swatch a bit later. Okay, then, because I use a lot for my different notebooks Tomoe River paper, I want to always swatch my inks on Tomoe River paper. That is 68 GSM paper, and it's actually the ring binder inserts from Lochby. And we're gonna do that first. I have a lot of dirty ink blotting paper sheets. Okay, again, the name of the ink, dominant industry. Oh my gosh, I can't even spell industry anymore. is 3. Oh, no. My spelling is never the best because I'm dyslexic. But when I talk and write at the same time, it gets even worse. But I know what ink brand it is. Okay, so let's also get an ink swatch here. And I hope we will be able to see that this ink is shading world champion. We'll definitely see it later on in the writing samples. So yes, shading, no sheen, no shimmer, no duochrome, multichrome. And I have a bottle of it. I have not done a water resistance test so far, but I don't expect it to be really water resistant. I mean, it's a light color anyway. And I assume there won't be much left, but we'll see in just a minute. So I am absolutely not a fan of pink inks. I only bought this ink because, well, it was released while I was in Korea. It was cherry blossom season and it just all matched together. So I thought, okay, give it a try. And I'm really happy I did that because I like that color. I was really surprised by myself because I'm certainly not a person who likes pink in general. But I do appreciate this ink. And yeah, I guess it's best I show you some writing samples so you might understand why I like this ink. Started here. So for all my writing samples, or at least the standard writing samples, I always use these 3 pens. Pilot Kakuno with a fine nib, then my TWSBI Eco with a medium nib, and Lamy Safari with a broad nib, because I just want to see how does this ink look in different nib sizes, and also like the Pilot Kakuno is certainly a drier fountain pen than, like, for example, a TWSBI. So it helps me just to find or understand better which combinations for the future might make sense. So we have now our 3 writing samples. I put so much ink on the ink swatches that they're still not dry, but the ink is dry enough for the water resistance test. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let the evil water do its work. Huh. I mean, ink certainly comes off. That's actually pretty good. I mean, yes, it is lighter, but it's certainly still readable. I did not expect that there would be much left after the water touched the ink. So I would give it 3 out of 5. For a non-water resistant ink, that's pretty good. Okay, so now let's have a look at the writing samples. I always have writing samples on the paper types I use the most. This means Archer and Olive paper. I have this notebook here. And yeah, so I have here a writing sample with the Lamy Safari again, broad nib. Then we have the TWSBI Eco with the medium nib. And the Pilot Kakuno here. And also, I think, yes, here I got an additional writing sample, which is actually my favorite one, with the ink that was part of this release. That's the new dominant industry fountain pen or stationary fountain pen. So this pen, this ink were released together. And yes, I mean, I don't know how, well, it's certainly not a coincidence that they go together really well. I mean, I would expect that if you release ink and a pen in combination. But I like this writing sample really very much because it has just the right amount of shading. So, I mean, as I said, it's an ink that is really a strong shader. But I think with this one, it just looks the best. The shading is the most even, I could say so. But let's have a look at the other paper types as well. So, I mean, we saw already here writing samples on the Tomoe River 68 GSM paper, but I also have here 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, and oh no, don't see them. I mean, I don't think it makes much of a difference. Yeah, again, we have here the Lamy Safari with the broad nib, TWSBI Eco with medium nib, and the Pilot Kakuno. This is actually an ink which I do like better on the Archer and Olive paper. I think that the color pops nicer. But let's take a look at the other notebooks as well. So I also have writing samples here in my Rhodia notebook. Again, the usual set, Lamy Safari with the broad nib, TWSBI Eco with the medium nib, and the Pilot Kakuno with the fine nib. Here it's hard to say which one I like here better. The Lamy Safari or the TWSBI Eco. I think for nice shading inks, I always like a little bit of in general, I like broader nibs better. I'm usually I write with medium or even broad nibs. But I think definitely a lot of the nice shading quality is not so visible for me here with the fine nib. So yeah, definitely go here. One of those two. And again, the stationary Kino number 14 fountain pen. And up here, it was only very light because I was running out of ink. So when I said, oh, well, what's wrong here? I remember this ink to be quite wet. Yeah, exactly. I haven't mentioned this. This ink has a very nice flow for I don't know if I would really call it a light ink, but definitely it has a nice flow. And so I was surprised what's going on here. But then I just checked. I mean, the converter was completely empty. So that's why it's here darker again. Because then I had just re-inked the pen. Okay, then I have some additional bonus writing samples. So we had my standard set of notebooks, Archer and Olive paper, Tomoe River paper, and the Rhodia paper. But I also have something here that's a Leuchtturm paper. Again, here we have a whole page with the Kino fountain pen. And I just like it. I mean, I'm repeating myself, but it's just a great match. I like the amount of shading, and I like the flow. It's good. And then I have also, I mean, it's still Tomoe River paper, but here I have my Hobonichi notebook, and here we are. Again with the stationary Kino fountain pen. I do not get tired of looking at this ink. It's beautiful. And this ink helped me to find my peace with pink ink. And the last bonus writing sample is here in my Clairefontaine notebook. And again, stationary Kino fountain pen, by the way, which has a medium nib. And yeah, it is an ink I like to write with, nice flow. I like to look at it. Nothing I can complain, and I'm really happy I got it, and I gave pink inks another chance. Okay, now let's have a look if I have anything comparable. So surprisingly, I found an ink which is not so different. Let's just put the notebooks away. Obviously, I like trying inks or pen and ink combination of different paper types. So I have an ink which is not so different. And that's L'arme de Cassis by Chez Arbin. I mean, yeah, if you put them next to each other, it's not a dupe, but it's close enough. I actually got this ink. I think it was a freebie in some kind of ink package, or so I don't know if I have ever really written with it. But yeah, so I can't say too much about this one, how it behaves, or when it comes to writing, if they feel similar. But certainly on the swatch card, they look kind of similar. Okay, then let's have one last look. So here I put on this Varingol color swatch book, I mean, a ton of ink. And here it actually has this kind of black sheen. But yeah, I put so much ink on that page that I don't know, I would not really expect to see this in any other scenario. I was even worried that it would bleed through. Didn't, but it was like a real ink pool on there. And yeah, so here we have the swatch on the Tomoe River paper and our writing samples. Yeah. So, what is my resume for this ink? First of all, there are pink inks which I can enjoy using. Lesson learned number one. Then it has a very nice flow, not only with the stationary Kino fountain pen, but it also worked really nicely with the Lamy Safari, the TWSBI Eco, with the Pilot Kakuno, with the fine nib. I don't know. As I already mentioned, I'm definitely not a fan of so fine nibs. And if I use a fine nib, I want a really, really very wet ink. I mean, it has a nice flow, but it's not a super wet ink. So yeah, this wouldn't be my choice, but it certainly, I mean, it worked fine. I didn't have any trouble with it, but that wouldn't be my choice for this ink. Okay, then, thank you very much. I hope you did enjoy this little ink exploration. At the time of filming this, the ink is still quite new, so maybe you're still thinking, should you get this ink? Would you like it or enjoy it? Hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, thanks for your time, and I hope you stop by again. See ya!